Welcome back to Catching Up to Five. Jackie Cummings-Koski here, and have I got a treat for you today. I was on location for this episode, and it was a Women of Phi annual Women's Weekend. It was in Maryland, and this was a kind of a retreat that focused on the outer and the inner work of financial independence, specifically focused on women. So I had to capture some of this to bring it to you because I thought it was fascinating. It was great to kind of get some of the thoughts from the attendees that were there. And I believe this is the only women-focused financial independence community event. So I was really excited to see that this even existed. And a good friend of mine who was on the show, Kim Hunter-Borst, she is one of the leaders of the group of people that put that on. She also has her amazing sidekicks, Zuzka and Chantl. So I want to share with you some updates that I had with two of the ladies there. The first one is Kim, so she sounded familiar. So Kim was on episode 181. It was back in November, and it was titled Drowning in Debt at 48, Retired at 58. Here's how she did it. It was fascinating. It was actually one of our most viewed episodes on YouTube. It was amazing. I will drop that in the show notes. But we had a great conversation about what changes she's made since then. When we first talked, we were in Bali and she had just retired. And it was just so lovely to get to know her and then now to do an update. So you're going to love that. And then we have a second update from another prior guest. Her name was Lisa, and she was the nurse practitioner who was questioning, could I take a sabbatical? Now, she was actually the case study from 2025 for Econome, but she was wondering, could I take a sabbatical? And the title of that show, which was about a year ago, was The Real Numbers That Told Her She Could Quit Her Job right now. So we'll find out, did she quit her job? Did she take a break? Did she take that sabbatical? So you'll get that. Now, that's not all. I have even more for you that I got from this retreat. Talked to many of the other ladies and got their take on why they thought it was important to have a space like this or an event like this focused just on women. So I learned a lot. You'll learn a lot as well. So make sure you listen through the entire episode for this one. And I will drop the link to our prior guest so that you can go back and listen to their episode as well. And you may even want to consider going to this event in the future. So I think you are going to love it. So take a listen.
Welcome to Catching Up to Fi, a podcast on mindset, money, and life for late starters of any age on their journey to financial independence. I'm Bill, and I'm a late starter.
I'm Jackie, and I'm also a late starter, and we're your host. We're here to help you on your journey to financial independence, no matter where you're starting.
We're going to talk to experts, other late starters, and explore topics related to our mission.
Join us as we catch up to Fi together. Oh my gosh, we just had the most amazing Women's Weekend here in Maryland. And the founder of that is Kim Hunter-Borst. And if you remember Kim, she was on a show before talking about her FI journey. We did that from Bali, and we are actually stepping out of the box again. We're here in Maryland. We've got this beautiful, oh, look at that beautiful water, this beautiful retreat that you created. And I wanted to start by saying, Kim, that we both have been in the FI community for a long time. Mm-hmm. And this is the first in-person women's FI event, and you created it. This year's the second year. Can you tell us more about the event, the name, what time of the year it happens, and bring us up to date with that, because I know a lot of women don't even know about this. You got to tell me all about this weekend, the name, when it happens for those that might want to go next year, and what kind of vibe you're trying to create and the experience that the women had this weekend.
So we are the Women of Phi, and we put on annual women-centered events. It happens once a year here in gorgeous Northeast Maryland. It is usually the middle of April. Our dates are usually the second weekend of April. That is around the time that we normally have it. And it is just a wonderful time for women to get together and hold space for one another. We never want to have more than 50 women at a time because there's a level of vulnerability that's in this space. And when it gets larger than that, we lose some of that. The vibe that we have, it just blows my mind. This is our second event, second woman-centered event, and we have women coming from as far as LA, all across the country, just to be together, to be able to talk about their concerns and their wishes, hopes and their dreams. And this weekend, it was all about releasing memories that no longer serve us, releasing the mental load that kind of strangles us and the hold that it has upon us. There's this book that I've come across by Maria Kalman, and she talks about the things women hold, that we hold our families and our friends and love, but we also hold grudges and discontent and sometimes resentment, unfortunately, because of sometimes self-imposed expectations or expectations others have put upon us. And this weekend was a time of reflection to name those things that we carry and to list them out and then try and identify what are those that truly mine, what are those that were handed to me that no longer serve me, and what have I just learned to carry out of expectation and obligation. So the ladies were really open and honest with themselves and with one another. We all found something that surprised us about what we've been carrying or how it came to be. But I think ultimately these times are for us to just hold space as women. Of course, it is Phi related and we had case studies, but the overarching feeling was it was more about life, doing life together, how we do life together, why we should do life together. And in the co-ed spaces, we love our co-ed Phi brothers. It's not about excluding them, but there are some things that we talk about that just, I think, Jackie, you said it best. We don't always need a prescription or a solution. Sometimes we just want to talk about it and hold space and sit there with them and be there with them and help them unpack it. So hopefully, if you haven't joined us, you will consider joining us at thewomenoffphi.com, sign up for the newsletter, and join us next year. Every April, you can come and be here with us. We would love to have you.
So for 2027, you will be having it again, and that'll be the third year.
The third year.
The third year, yes. And it's always in Maryland, and it's in April this year.
Yes.
It was the second week of April, second weekend. Yes. So as soon as it's available, we'll definitely share it because I know so many women would be very interested. But also, what do you think about other women that might be interested in creating the same type of thing near them or for their own community, their own Phi community? Can you kind of share how you even put this together and if someone else wanted to try to do the same thing?
You know, Jackie, that's a great question. This was born really out of my first Phi event. I went to Econome and I met so many great people. I made so many wonderful connections. And there's a woman named Sarah Catherine Gutierrez
we know her well.
Yes, that challenged us to take the knowledge that we obtained as Phi women back to our own community and how we could share that with other people. And this was birthed out of that. And I was lucky enough to meet all of these wonderful folks in the Phi world that are already doing events. Stephen from CampFI, Amber Lee from FinTalks, Diana from Econome. Everyone was just open and generous and honest with how to put an event together, what it entails, what it involves. And honestly, more of these are needed. And as much as I would love to be the person to do that, I recognize in my retirement, it is not for me to do, but I will be open and honest and be willing to share what I've learned from these great folks with anyone that's interested in starting one in their own space or their sphere. And all you need to do is partner with a couple of the ladies to get it done. I mean, I've been able to do the impossible with a team of 3 people. Yeah. It doesn't take much.
And Kim, let's shout out your fearless partners that helped you put this together, please. Yes. Let's give them a shout out.
Martin, who is the marketing maven and technology queen, and then Zuzka Najati. She's the organization to all organizers. I could not do any of this without the 2 of them. They keep me grounded, they keep me sane, and they keep the wheels on the bus. I'm the people person that I go out and just talk to everyone and get all excited about it. But they keep me grounded and say, you know what, this is the purpose. They keep me focused on why we're doing this. It's for women to build connections and stay connected far beyond just the weekend. And they help me unpack what it is I want to communicate to the ladies when they come to us, and they help me remember what that is throughout the weekend. So I adore them, couldn't do it without them, and am amazed that we've found one another also through Econome and the various camps. But now we're lit up from the inside. We each have our own lives to live, but this is the one thing that gives us, that lights us up and gives us a little bit of fire.
Yeah. So you mentioned your retirement, so I cannot let you go without you kind of updating me on how that's going. The last time we talked, we were in Bali, and you had retired in 2025. So how is it going, like making that big transition from the daily grind, working every day, to now having your own time and doing exactly what you want to do?
Jackie, I can't say this any better than to say it is so weirdly normal. It feels every day as if this is something I've always done. It's been 9 months now, and everyone says, oh, it might just be the honeymoon phase, but it doesn't feel like the honeymoon phase. Every day I get up, I get to decide what my day will look like. There are some days that are filled with activities and planning for events such as this, and then other days it's just me being lazy. I get up and I have coffee with my husband, and we may plan to go out and about, and other times I may sit in the house and read a book, or it's up to me what I do. I have a life full of community. I have great neighbors, great family members, and each day I get up and I get to explore the possibilities, and I am loving every bit of it. It's not huge. It's not big grand things that I'm planning. It's once a year I do these women-centered events, but other than that, I have a whole bunch of white space just to be and live my life, and I'm loving it. It took me 35 years to get here, so I'm gonna make sure I fingers crossed, have a couple of decades to enjoy it.
Hey, so we've got with us Lisa, and Lisa was our case study follow-up. So I'm talking to you today, Lisa, because we got reunited on this Women's Weekend. So I want to do a follow-up. So I want to know, what are you up to now, and how did you enjoy this women's event this weekend?
Okay, well, I'll start with the women's event, which, I feel like there's a space here that women from all over this area could come together and just unload a lot of things that we carry. Just a lot of things we carry in our daily lives, and be able to put things down and trust that people are going to be there to just support us, and whatever question we have, nothing is judged. It's just such a wonderful, wonderful environment. It's my second year coming, and it is by far my favorite FI event. There's a lot of really good ones out there, but I just love this, and I hope other women will consider it. I hope there'll be more of these in different parts of the country. It's just a breath of fresh air to be here and be able to feel supported here.
So why do you think spaces like this is needed? Because this is focused on women. Was there a different vibe? Like, what about it did you feel like it nurtured you in a way that maybe you haven't gotten from other events?
So it's this perfect combination of planned workshops. We did a couple of life design workshops that were helpful for sort of thinking back on your relationship with money, where you are with money now, where you want to go in the future. So just this lovely sort of opportunity to think back and forward. And then in the spaces outside of that, just getting together with women and laughing and walking and playing games. It's just very different from my
silent
everyday life. The silent disco. The silent disco is always the event that I look forward to the most. And it's just different from other aspects of my life. So I left here last year, couldn't wait to come back. And I feel even more so this year. There was actually one thing I just talked to the organizer about, that probably at least half of the women here were here last year or went to another event that they held in the fall. And so half of the women that walked in the room were like comfortable, ready for this amazing experience that we knew we were going to have. And the other half of the women, were maybe a little bit more reticent and I don't know about this. Is this a cult? Is someone going to sell me something? You know, all of these sort of like when you come into a space and you just saw people relax and come into it together. And now I feel like we have this group of 47, I think we were, that will carry it forward for the next event and just provide that space that's comforting and welcoming. And, you know, talking about money stuff can be vulnerable. Talking about relationship stuff can be vulnerable. And all of that happened this weekend. So that's what I love about it.
Yeah, and I was just so glad that we got a chance to hang out. Thank you so much for giving me a ride from the airport. I love that. We became fast friends after you did the case study. Yeah. So I would like to know, Lisa, what are you up to now? I think the last time we talked, you quit your job. Woohoo! Give us the status on that and where you are in your FI journey.
Okay, so I did quit my job, and then I almost immediately got another one. I was offered this opportunity the last day. I gave my notice. I gave them 6 weeks. I'm a nurse, wanted to make sure my families were taken care of. I gave them 6 weeks, and that last week of work, a colleague said, I have an opportunity for you. I hear that you're leaving, and this is something that I've started. It's a project working with parents in Baltimore City, helping them with parenting skills. And it just, for me, was a huge change of pace. It's so much less stress. My boss told me last week, I don't know what I would do without you. And when was the last time I heard that, you know? So being FI and recognizing after the case study that I could take time away from work or even go back to work, but it was something that I loved and something that I was appreciated. So I'm there. My contract was due to end at the end of June. But one thing I will say is that when she approached me about it, I said, I'm interested, but I want the summer off. Wow. So I took my little sabbatical mini retirement there for a couple of months. And I really did feel like that was enough time for me to do a bunch of stuff that I had been looking forward to. I can't travel as much as I'd like because I've still got the kids at home. So, but I did a bunch of stuff around town and was really happy with that time. So she came to me a couple of months ago and said, your contract ends at the end of June. Would you like to continue for another 6 months until we finish this project? And I said, can I have the summer off? So I'm going to get 2 months off this summer and then I'll go back. And I tell you, Jackie, I don't know what's going to happen in January when I'm looking for a different position. If I decide that I want to volunteer or work part-time or jump back into something, it's just being financially independent gives me all of those options and all of that freedom.
Yeah, and you have so many options. So is retiring early even an interest of yours anymore, or are you just good with the way things are going that you can change whenever you want?
Yeah, I'm good with the way things are going, with the knowledge I can change whenever I want. And if you interview me again for another follow-up next year, I will update you on what I'm doing. But just to know that I have the safety of the finances being taken care of, and then the opportunity to try some things that are different that I might like, or a boss that really appreciates me, or all of these opportunities that I think are awaiting me. So I'm looking forward to that journey.
Yeah, well, I am thrilled for you. We had an amazing weekend, and I just couldn't resist trying to get a little bit of an update from you.
Thank you, Jackie. I know you sprung this on me at the last minute, and I was like, oh, what? But every time you have ever spoken to me or interviewed me, I just feel like I'm having a conversation with you, and you always make me feel comfortable. So thank you, my friend.
All right. You guys heard that. All right, Lisa. Thanks for chatting with us and giving us an update. Maybe again in another couple of years, right?
Maybe so. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carla. I live in northeastern Pennsylvania, and I'm an avionics technician.
Yeah, I'm so interested in what you do. Thank you, first of all, for coming to this women's only retreat out here in Maryland. So what do you do as a profession? And when you were introducing yourself, it was so fun. So please share with our audience what you do and tell me a little bit about that toolbox you do it with.
So I'm an avionics technician, which means that I work with the electronics part of the planes. But at work, I'm also getting trained to get my license as an AMP, which is an airframe and power plant maintenance technician. So I work with tools. And at work, I decided to have a very bright pink box. So when people get in the hangar, know that a woman is working there. and
Oh
the
my
plane.
gosh, you said bright pink. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, you have to send me a picture of that.
Yes, I will.
So why do you have the bright pink toolbox?
So there's no doubt that a woman works at the hangar, like with around all the
There you
tools
go.
and the equipment.
How on earth did you get into that?
It's actually thanks to the fire movement because I already had like my emergency fund. So without my emergency fund, I wouldn't have been able to get like a pay cut to go learn something new. So I knew I was gonna be fine if it didn't work out, but I wanted to see if I liked the aviation industry. So far it's been a year and I'm loving it. And I got to meet great women that have inspired me to go and do more.
Wow. So where are you on your FI journey and how old are you?
I'm 29 and actually last night here at the event, thanks to one of the ladies who showed me a CampFI calculator, I found out that I'm very close to getting to CampFI. So I was really pleased with that.
That is so awesome. You got a big road ahead of you that I know you're going to conquer, but this is such a great event. Why do you think these types of events are important and the focus on women when it comes to reaching financial independence?
I think it's very important because we tend to work more around how we feel, how we want to leave, not just the number. Like, we already know the numbers. We can get information in Google. Like, there are tons of podcasts, and we can find the right person that will give us the message that we need, how we need it to understand it. But meeting with other women in different parts in their lives and from different backgrounds, it like shows you like, hey, it's doable, and you can enjoy the ride as well. You don't have to grind it all the time. You get to enjoy the ride, not just the goal.
Hey, so give me your name and tell me why you think a women's weekend in the FI community is needed, and what was your experience like?
My name's Lisa Burks, and this is my first women's all event for women that was really just incredible because women don't really talk about it the same way when there's men around. We just think about money differently. We have different challenges that we go through. So I think it's really important to be able to find those connections with someone that you can totally relate to.
Yeah, and you actually have an event that you're planning yourself. I'd love to hear more about that.
I do. I was a computer science engineering nerd and all about the numbers and everything, and just realized that going to all of these events, which are wonderful, you really just find that you're just getting to the good stuff when it ends. And so really wanted to have an event where you can kind of dig deeper into those numbers and operationally figure out how to retire. A lot of events are about getting to FI, and this is more focused on life after FI. It's not really just for people who are retired or people that are far away. It's really just to let them be able to answer all those questions, or at least find the connections to other people who can do it.
So any details you can share with us, like where is it located, around what time of the year will it happen? Because we'll share it with you,
Sure.
or we'll share it with everyone, because I think it's so cool when people are trying to come up with ways to have in-person connections and on topics that they're passionate about.
Right. So it will be held in St. Simon's Island, Georgia. Most people don't really realize there's some islands on the East Coast in Georgia, and it's a beautiful area. It'll probably be in late February. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, great. How many days do you plan on having?
It will probably be 4 days total, so 3 days of content. Yep.
Well, as soon as that is available and you have days, let us know. We will share it with our community, and I may even come along myself because I love Georgia.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So we're at the last day of the Women's FI event. Give me your name and what you thought about the event.
My name is Mabel, and oh gosh, there's so many things I have to say about this event. It just blows me away. It's really beautiful, warm, smart. I don't know, I have so many adjectives for it. It's my second time at this Women's FI retreat, though, and it's just so good energy, and I don't know, I'm just so happy here, and I just wish there was more. It is a great space where we talk about finance stuff, but we talk more about how our feelings around it and how we're dealing with it, and just more the emotional component. So it's just a really great space, and I'm really happy that I'm back again. I plan on attending every single one or every year, and I'm hoping that there are more spaces like this. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. That's wonderful. So you just attended the Women's Weekend here in Maryland. So tell me your name and why do you think events like this focused on women is important to women on their journey to FI?
Oh, that's a great question. So let's see. Well, my name is Brooke. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. And so it's about a 3 or 4 hour drive to come here. I was a little reticent because it was a bit far, but I hadn't been to a women's only event before, and I just wanted to see how it was different. And I would say that although numbers are a big focus in a financial independence event, so much more is about what is meaningful to you and what you're carrying in life and how it may or may not serve you. And just like these opportunities to really dig deep into yourself in ways that also I don't think is possible at a very large group event. So this is like 30 to 40 people, I think. And so it gives a lot of opportunity to really talk to others and I also find some community as well as purpose and reason. And also to see people who will inspire you because they're very much like you and doing something very different. And so it opens up a lot of possibilities.
So Brooke, where are you on your FI journey?
That's a great question. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure it out. I was told that I might be FI in about 9 years, a couple of years ago. However, things have changed a little bit, and so I'm not really sure. And I do have some real estate that I might sell or might keep as income. I'm not sure. So it's
so
mixed
you
bag.
are flexible. Are you feeling good where you are right now on your FI journey, like enjoying the journey, coming to events like this?
I would say that I'm feeling like I'm building a community now and that has a connection between people and the journey. Whereas before it was like the journey was people that I didn't know in my real life, and the real life wasn't necessarily all connected to this. And I think things are coming together a little bit more strongly. But as far as like, when can I retire? Like, benefits are so important and health insurance is so important. And I just don't think the ACA is cost effective. So I'm not really sure how to bridge that gap. I might end up at one of those part-time jobs that gives you benefits. But I'll figure that out in the next year or so.
All right, perfect. Thank you. So tell me your name and what you thought about this Women's Weekend.
My name is Loreen, and I really enjoyed the Women's Weekend because there was a lot of authentic discussions about finances and getting to know the ladies. It was great.
Awesome, awesome. Where are you on your FI journey?
I'm retired, so I'm very happy.
Woohoo! Look, we love that buzzword. Let's ring a little bell. Now, Chantl, you're not getting off the hook either. Give that mic on over to Chantl.
Oh, no. Okay.
That's right. So, Chantl, you are one of the organizers here. No, I'm going to get you right here.
I'm going to die. Okay.
I mentioned your name already, but give us your name. What role do you play when it comes to this FI weekend here in Maryland? And where are you on your FI journey?
The role I play, I do the tech stuff, the marketing stuff, I write the emails, and I bring the fun.
Yes, you do. You was an amazing host the first day. I thought, do you do stand-up too?
So I've tried it. It's great.
You
I
should.
love it.
You did a good job.
Thank
you did a good job.
Thank you. And what's the last question? Where am I on my FI journey? Coast FI and about to take a year sabbatical.
Yay.
Maybe more. We'll see where it goes.
Well, tell me about why a Women's Weekend, because this is the very first in-person Women's FI event. You've been a part of it for the 2 years that we've had it. Today, 2026 was the second one. Tell me why that space is important. Like, what feedback do you get and how do you feel personally? Because I know you attend as well.
Well, I know why we wanted to do it. Kim said she wanted to bring events to the Northeast and she wanted to be the face of women in financial independence. And I was like, girl, you can do that. Let's do it. But once we actually hosted the event and started, I was like, oh, if the vibe is different, it feels different, you know, the community, the people, the laughter, the vulnerability. It's a vibe. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Okay.
I got it. So, Bill, as you know, we cannot do this show without our amazing staff and the people that help us put this on. And our editor is Fritz Brazard. We love them and they keep us going.
Yeah, Jackie, I mean, this show wouldn't have the quality it has without our folks, our peeps. And we'd also like to give you a few calls to action for the show. We love our community and we hope you love us back. If you would like to support the show and our mission to help late starters, you can do that at Buy Me a Coffee, which is a platform that allows you to make a donation. The link is in the show notes and on the website.
Check out the show notes for resources mentioned in today's show. Also, head on over to our website at catchinguptofi.com and check out our vetted resources, partners, and affiliates for discounts and their services because we love sharing great deals.
Please share the show with others and head on over to our Facebook community to help us grow. If you prefer video, head on over to YouTube and watch the show there. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Catching Up to Fi. We would appreciate it if you could also leave us a 5-star review to help our message reach others.
And while we are financial educators that love to teach, remember that our content is for general education and information purposes only. We are not providing financial, legal, or tax advice. Always do your own research or consult a professional before making important decisions.
So, Jackie, we'll see our audience next time on Catching Up to Fi. Cheers.